I thought we could bury the lead a little bit with some talk of some tapes.
Oh boy, do I have some tapes for you?
You have some tapes too?
Oh yeah, we're in tape land. You go first.
Tell you what, maybe we could do like a switch off. Like I'll do one, you do one, or something like that.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
I've got kind of two holy grail ones. I mean, one of them is like not that, neither is all that hard to obtain. Really, at the end of the day, tapes are not that hard to obtain.
No.
But longtime Power Rangers fan, I knew I needed the Power Rangers movie on tape. I had to have it. I mean, look at that box art.
Oh, geez.
Right? Come on.
That's
Come on.
nostalgic.
I love this movie. This is the 1995 movie, the first theatrical Power Rangers movie. There would be a follow-up, a Turbo Power Rangers movie years later. They've got like these like plastic hard shell costumes, which I always thought was cool. Like just not necessarily better than the show, but just something to discern the movie from the show. I liked when
it felt premium. Yeah, when I saw it in theaters, which I did, it felt like, oh, this isn't just the dumpy spandex or whatever. This is premium hard shell.
Speaking of hard shell, I do have to say, just for the good and welfare, I don't like clamshell tapes, frankly. Like if this came in a normal sleeve, I would prefer it. But this is how I had it in childhood, so fair enough. This was given to me by Levi Reed, who ironically is the guy who's been helping us put together our VHS for BoxMax. So he goes thrifting all the time. A lot of our fans and friends go thrifting all the time. And occasionally they'll be like, hey, you want me to pick you up anything if you see it? And I said, you know what? If you see MMPR 95, get me some MMPR 95, would you?
Wow. Well, there it is.
And I haven't popped it in yet, but I definitely intend to. And how about that Fox label, that front label?
Oh, yeah, baby.
I think one of our two, I think the best of BoxMac is modeled after that.
That's awesome. Awesome.
I do also, while it's still my turn, I'll say this. I don't want a lot, like, I've noticed that a lot of people's, no judgment. I've noticed a lot of people's VHS collections have banged up sleeves.
Holy shit. What the fuck?
I've bought a few sealed tapes at this point, and as soon as you unseal them, they start getting nicks, and because it's paper, it's cardboard. Like,
yeah,
it's almost impossible to have like really pristine ones. But then there's like a next level of wear and tear that I find unacceptable, where like there's little pieces of paper missing, and starts to get real dinged up. If it's like 7% dinged up, that's okay. Anything more than that, I'm like, you know what? I'll keep waiting, or I'll pay more. But I talked about it last time, and I just wanted to do a follow-up from Star Wars to Jedi.
Oh.
So this is the making of Star Wars, is documentary. Remember I showed, and you got the same thing. There was like another making of Star Wars that we got that was like from a cereal box or something. This is the one that was actually grouped in. Like if you bought the box set, you got this, or you could send away for this if you got the box set of the CBS Fox Video release. But yours is different.
Yeah, mine's the cereal box.
I watched the commercial for this a million times, and never actually owned it. So, I bought this on Facebook Marketplace off of a guy, for $20, because you don't see these don't just show up. You gotta buy this. You know what I'm saying? You can't thrift for this.
You gotta put in the footwork.
You gotta put in the footwork. All right, you show me.
Okay, so a little bit of a story. So it was my birthday a month ago. And I was over at my parents' house. They wanted to give me a cake or whatever. It wasn't really a party. It was just kind of just a thing. And I noticed that my parents still use like the same TV stand as childhood. They've since replaced the tube TV with a modern TV. It went with the Sony Trinitron TV, but they just took that out, threw it in the dumpster, which is probably sad. And then they put a modern TV on top of it. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I remember there being a secret compartment on the side of it where we would stash DVDs and VHS tapes. So I just popped open that little secret compartment. It's like one of those ones where you like push in with a magnet and it pops out. And my God, Frankie, there was a treasure trove.
No.
This is the Banjo-Kazooie promo tape that Nintendo would send you. Not only that, Frankie, inside there was the Diddy Kong Racing promo tape. I didn't even know I had these. This is why I knew I had Star Fox 64. So that was in there too. And then another one, which again, I didn't even realize I had this one. For some reason, it's in a generic Fujifilm HQ blank tape cover, but this is Hot News 64 VHS tape.
See, I think that's the full collection. I think you have all the N64 promo tapes.
Do me a favor, go woo, 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 woo. Woo indeed. Let's see some more.
This is the Insider's Guide to N64, and it says trademarks Jet Force Gemini, Donkey Kong 64. So
one, I had the Diddy Kong one, and I think they all had something like this, where at the end of the tape, they always played a sizzle reel of all of upcoming releases and current releases. And I remember one of them had like some Ocarina of Time. They were just calling it Zelda 64 still, or nondescript Zelda 64. But so those sizzle reels are fun. You can see some, kind of beta versions of the games.
Yeah. So I haven't even tried to put them in. I don't know if they even play, but they were in there. Maybe if I can get them to play, I think it would be fun if we tried to live stream them or something.
Yeah, I would. Oh my God, I'd love it.
Anyway, you go next.
Okay. So I'll say that our friend Mark from Geek Guilt, right? He's actually sent me. I've got many more tapes that I'm not going to show today. Many of which he sent me. He sent me like Ace Ventura, Fraggle Rock, Austin Powers. He sent me a bunch of Power Rangers too. Not just Power Rangers has like these volumes, but then they also have like the White Ranger series, and they have the Green Ranger series, all this cool stuff. But he puts up these videos, showcasing his room and his collectibles. And I saw, it's Halloween time right now, and I saw him show this spooky stuff, Animaniacs. And I was like, now that looks like something I need. And it was just, every once in a while you see a collectible that you're just like, I refuse to not have it. Money will be spent. I will have it.
It will be mine. Oh, yes. It will be mine.
So I ran to eBay to see if anybody had it. And yeah, not only did they have it, but they had Animaniacs Sing Along and Animaniacs Hello Holidays. So, I'm a huge Animaniacs fan. I'm a huge Tiny Toons fan. I watched the Halloween one, and there were a lot of previews for there's Tiny Toon Christmas is on VHS. And I was starting to realize, the truth is I own all of these complete series on DVD. So why do I care? Less is more sometimes, man. Sometimes putting together a small curated collection, a film curator. Sometimes you're just focusing it around like a themed series of episodes. Like sometimes putting in a Simpsons tape that's just 3 Simpsons episodes, there's something to it. There's something to less is more,
Yeah, some marketing guy was like, we have to just put these 3 together and maybe we can sell it. And maybe he was right.
And this is an example. This is very common with tape collections. The first episode is they meet Dracula. It's very funny. It's definitely a Halloween special. After that, they're decreasingly tangentially Halloweeny. There's one where they torment the devil. Not sure that's specifically Halloweeny.
Becomes tenuous after that, yeah.
Yeah, anything to put together a tape. But yeah, you only get 3. I think the typical thing was you get 2 episodes and a bonus episode. That was the most standard config for TV releases. Why a bonus episode? I don't why not just promote it as 3 episodes?
Oh no. You get something. It's like you get an extra thing.
Yeah. Oh, good. Keep the tape rolling.
It's like when the sales at JCPenney didn't really mean anything. That was just the price of the thing.
And then they've took it away one day and the sales tanked.
Yeah. It's like, wait, I wanted to be lied to.
Yeah, I need that lie. What you got?
So after I found that treasure trove of N64 VHSs, I was like, what else do we have in here? And these are loose. They don't have any sleeves. So this is Independence Day, so it has the Fox
Love it.
logo. That's not really that exciting, but these are exciting to me just personally on a sentimental level. As I got these. This is Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Loose though.
They're loose, but you know, these are the ones these are my childhood ones. Literally that, you know, they were in my parents' house. I found them that same day.
Yep.
And like they have this is the rare the spline stickers. Those are pleasing to me. I'll have to see if these work, but I must have played the crap out of them.
Our box back release will have spine stickers, by the way.
So those were exciting find, just because I got those Christmas of 1990, and it was in a two box set, but the box is long gone.
Are you officially into VHS now, or is this still sort of just dabbling?
Yeah, it's just for fun. I mean, it's just these are just ones I found in my parents' house. But this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the FHE Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. The movie.
I don't have the movie anymore, and I want it. And I want it in good quality. I don't want it all banged up.
No, this is a banged up. Actually, I don't think this even plays, because I remember as a kid it stopped playing.
You remember that movie E.T.? They had scenes that were so dark that like on your floor model TV there was no hope. Like you were like there's a scene where Raphael peeks out of the sewer like to see April getting accosted, and on Blu-ray, it's like clear as day, red bandana, there he is. But man, on VHS, like all you saw was like just the pitch black bits in the sewer.
Yeah. So other than that, it's just that's all I have is loose ones like that. I have like Jurassic Park.
Nice.
Loose. Return of the Jedi, loose. Special edition, so it's not even the good one.
Yeah, but you know the special edition ones have those cool behind the scenes little documentaries, which are fun.
Yeah, where they show how they Photoshop like Jabba the Hutt and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and those are different than the DVD release, which are also different from the Blu-ray. So you have a unique release of Star Wars there.
And of Aladdin, and then this is Star Wars Episode 1 loose. These were just my childhood tapes. I just grabbed them because I saw them. Did
you ever have any movies that were like dubbed from a friend or family member, and that's how you owned the movie? Like you never owned it officially?
Oh yeah, so Austin Powers, which I watched a lot. I remember I was sick from school one day, and I rented pay-per-view. I rented Austin Powers. And if you remember when you did pay-per-view and you rented it for the day, like it would just play over and over on the channel, the pay-per-view channel. I think you had to like call a number. I think you call the number and you're just like, I'm 1,000 years old, I guess. I'm buying Austin Powers for the day, and then you would hang up, and it would the garbled screen would suddenly be clear. And so I just put it in a blank VHS. I taped Austin Powers, and that was the Austin Powers that I had, and we watched it over and over again. That got more play than most of the official VHSs I had.
I had that with Mortal Kombat, Lion King, Aladdin, and then there's the next layer, which is when you tape a movie off of TV. Ghostbusters 2, I had taped off of TV, so it was my Ghostbusters 2 memory and experience involves commercials. I feel the commercial breaks when I watch the movie now. Like there's a scene where Rick Moranis goes, "We gotta tell the guys," and that's always like that's the cut to commercial.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then I remember my dad like hated the commercials, so he would try to like stop the recording, but he was bad at it, so we were yelling at him like, you have to start it now. I feel the
yeah. You always
coming.
miss the first like 30 seconds of when it returns from. By the time I got to be like 10, 11, I started making these like really pristine recordings of like Simpsons. I'd get like 6 episodes of Simpsons on one tape, no commercials. Nice and tightly edited. It's basically editing.
You were already editing them, yeah.
I had a lot of Treehouse of Horrors, and I think like season 7 in particular, I had like a good run of season 7 on tape. All right, well, so who can resist? But these were sent to me by Mark, but I've got here Rocky and Rocky and Rocky 1 through 4.
Oh wow, okay, sweet.
On CBS Fox Video. I didn't have these particular. There was like a box set that I had as a kid that I got they had boxing gloves on them. Now I got these, which is really cool. I don't know why. Like you keep hearing me say CBS Fox Video. It's because they were a big video release. You know, they put out everything. Because this is an MGM produced movie, but CBS Fox Video was the home video. That's another thing I was thinking about recently. I was seeing like Beetlejuice is on streaming, Deadpool and Wolverine is on streaming, and I was like, are we still using the term stream? You know, sometimes you hear digital feels a little like streaming digital. I'm like, these aren't new formats. Like, is there a reason we're still using like such specific technology terms to describe this? Can you just say like home video at this? I know that sounds ancient, but
Now on home video.
just say home video, or it's coming to homes or whatever, because that's the distinguishing element. You know, it's like, well, like technically they could be streaming in the fucking theater. Anyway, these are the things I get hung up on. Okay, now we're gonna kick it into gear with South Park. All right, do you have others, by the way?
Not really for VHSs, but I do have like just random DVDs I found, like this complete 6th season of The Simpsons, where this is the one that caused so much ire because they did the plastic shell, which was different from like the other.
I opted to not get that one. I got the one that was in, because they did release it in the proper format.
I found full screen Indiana Jones. Now this is interesting because this is by full screen. They actually mean 16:9.
Oh,
the special edition Star Wars full screen was 4:3, and this is 16:9. So I put it in my 4:3 TV. I'm like, there's black bars here, and I'm like, no, that's 16:9. I was like, that's interesting. They already switched.
Full screen is a reserved word for 4:3. We should. I mean, that's definitely true.
I thought so, but it's not.
It is funny, like going back to some of my old DVDs with my 4:3 TVs. Only now do I realize just how many DVDs I own where the flip side is full screen. I'm like, oh, I can watch this in 4:3.
Yeah, they do that. They did it a lot. Yeah, and then I just grabbed a bunch from, again, this was the secret compartment on that TV stand, but Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Famous for color correction.
I got that actually for my dad because he loved that movie. And so I bought it for him. But
the Coen brothers make good movies for dads. My dad loves True Grit 2010.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a DVD player anymore, so I stole it. My Cousin Vinny. Marissa
So
Tomei,
good.
you know?
Your people.
My people. Family Guy Volume 2.
Everybody had it.
This is the if you were in a college dorm in 2004, you had that.
You had a Blue Velvet poster and a Family Guy Volume 2.
and Christmas Vacation, classic.
Nina calls it the excellent movie. Whenever we, I'd say the day after Thanksgiving, that's when we can pop that in, and there's that little jingle at the beginning. Christmas time is here.
It's so funny because that movie basically overshadows the whole series. Like, of course, there's the original that probably has some sentimental value, but there's nothing more ubiquitous than that. I mean, like, they sell National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation merch at Pottery Barn. You can go to Pottery Barn and you can get like a fucking station wagon with a tree on top on a pillow, you know?
Yeah. It's a top 5 probably for Christmas movies of all time. If you're talking about like live action, because you got your stop motion Rankin Bass and stuff, but I'd say Home Alone, It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Christmas. It's like it's in the Mount Rushmore for sure. All right, I bought this sealed and then I unsealed it because I want to watch it, but so therefore it's in very nice shape. South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Oh baby,
I don't want to live without it. Well.
Okay. I'm getting pretty sick of him calling my mom.
It's crazy, man. Like, it's a great movie and it stands the test of time. And I'd say mostly because it's a musical is what, one of the best reasons, because certainly the profanity isn't what makes it timeless. There's no like Randy Marsh in this movie. There's no Butters in this movie. The animation is way subpar compared to like modern South Park by a long shot. It's dated. It's got Saddam Hussein in it, and yet it stands the test of time as like one of the greatest comedies of all time. And yeah, I do think it's the music. I think the music is what kind of like Shut Your Fucking Face, Uncle Fucka is probably going to be.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucka.
Yeah, about a biting bastard, Uncle Fucka. And then, I've shown you I have Cannibal on tape, I have Basketball on tape, and I got the South Park Blue on tape. You got to complete the quadrilogy with Orgasmo.
Oh, Orgasmo, yeah.
And this is the version, because there's a couple of releases. This is the version that I had as a kid. Yeah, Polygram Video put this out, EJ. Some weird distributor at the time. I remember John bought me this. I was like 14 or 15. He was like, I can buy things on Amazon. What do you want me to buy? And I said, get me this and get me Everything I Need to Know About Filmmaking I Learned from the Toxic Avenger by Lloyd Kaufman. So like two very formative things. And I remember I put this in my backpack to bring it to school to show my friends. And my mom found it and she was super pissed. And I was like, but Mom, it's like not a porn. The first thing I had to do was convince her it wasn't a porn or a porno, as Ted taught us, right?
See if there's an article in front of it, like an A or a the, it's a porno. But if not, it's just porn.
I'm just not going to say it anymore.
And I was like, no, it's a Trey Parker film. You know that guy that I idolized, Trey Parker? He made this. And she was like, Trey Parker's a pig, she told me. I'll always remember that. Like, Trey Parker's a pig.
But he's a talented pig.
I'm a little piggy.
Making bacon.
First, I'll do these two, okay? There was a short run of, I got these sealed too. The best of South Park.
The best.
So this was, it's so early on. So this one, the Christmas one, has Mr. Hankey's Christmas Classics, Merry Christmas, Charlie Manson, and part 1 of the UK documentary Going Down to South Park, which I had on Real Media and I watched a trillion times. It's Trey and Matt in a hot tub talking about the making of the show, like early on. And I'll talk more about that in a moment. And then this one, Gloria has just become such a huge, I'm embarrassed to say it in public. She's become a huge South Park fan. Like she's crazy about the show. It's been a huge bonding thing for us. I've had to try to find episodes that can work in our households where we accept some F-bombs and stuff, as long as we don't say them. But it started with Pokemon because she was watching Big City Greens and they had an episode that was basically a parody of Pokemon trading cards. And that led to, I was like, well, there's this other show that made fun of Pokemon and it's called Pokemon. And she instantly thought it was hysterical, like being like, Donkeytron, shoo.
Donkeytron, shoo.
I will be Royal Crown Chimpoko Master.
Aww.
I remember she, like, one of the biggest laughs I've ever heard her laugh, like where it really bubbled up and she was recognizing how funny it was Cartman going, but ma'am, I have to get the Chimpokemon. I didn't think I'm cute. I've taken that for granted for decades, but she's hearing it for the first time and realizing how funny it is. I showed her some of Caesar Milan training Cartman and him being like, I'm not a dog. Give me chicken. Give me chicken. Give me chicken. It works on a 7-year-old. So this one's Chimpokemon and Rainforest Schmain Forest. And this has part 2 of Going Down to South Park. So if you buy 3 of these, you can piece together the whole documentary. And I was like, what's the deal with that? Like, where did that come out? And it turns out it was released on a PAL VHS tape in the UK, just called Going Down to South Park. It was just a tape you could buy. I don't have a PAL player, but I was like, that's a cool little totem, that UK tape. I'm going to buy that. So that's going to come in. It's shipping from Australia. All right. So finally, and this is going to be a dramatic visual. We've bought all these.
Whoa.
South Parks.
You got a lot of South Parks.
There's a whole lot of South Park. So this is volume 1 through 12. And I used to have all these. I threw them all in a trash bag and threw them out, in 2007 or something. But here they all are again. And, they're just, again, it's fun to cuddle up with one of these now and again. But most memorably, I think everybody remembers they were re-released on DVD and stuff, but everybody remembers the Trey and Matt intros. First there was they were like cowboys. No, first there was the fireside chats. Then they were cowboys. Then they were like at an old folks home. Then they were on like a cooking show, making bacon with Macon. They were always funny.
Feeding bacon to a pig.
Yeah, just horrible, cruel shit. But, there's one of our friends on Discord pointed me toward somebody on Etsy created one of these in this style for modern episodes. They did like a Halloween collection that that also hasn't come in yet, but I just bought that. Well, that's all my tapes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. More to come.
Like I said, I really think that someday, if these VHSs of the N64 ones work, we should have a watch party.
I'm in.
Like, I don't either stream it or record it or something.
And you're all invited.
I think that would be really funny. I have just like in this retro media space, you might have noticed even last week, there's this little thing right here. This is the last Dell 4.3 monitor. It's the Dell 2007 FPB. And kind of the unique thing about this one, and actually this monitor specifically, a lot of people will replace the stock monitors and the arcade 1-ups with this one because it has a better viewing angle and it's got a better resolution. But I'm not doing that. But it was on Facebook Marketplace pretty locally, so I was like, you know what? I'll pick it up because I don't know. It looked cool. I like Dell monitors. Like my main monitor is a Dell monitor, but this is I got this one, and by coincidence, at Salvation Army, they had this speaker that you can attach to the bottom. Within a week, I found that. I don't even realize how I did that. The unique thing about this, it has VGA. It has like that DVI port or whatever it's called. And then it also has S-Video and composite, which is very unique for a computer monitor. I think there will be some lag to it, but who cares? It's not that bad. You know, nerds will be nerds. You know,
is the reason that there would be lag is because of the refresh rate?
It's like doing some like upscaling because it's taking a 240p signal and it's got to upscale it, and I think that introduces a lot of lag.
Gotcha.
And there is a refresh rate too, which is, you know, not ideal, but I've been playing some retro games on it. I don't really notice it. I don't know. I'm getting old. I don't care. But it's a great monitor, and I just have a Windows machine hooked up to it. It's my old one. I'm doing a project where because Linux I think works better on it, and I think I'll do a video about like refurbishing an old machine with Batocera, and then I'll feature this monitor in it. So anyway, then also I got this keyboard.
Oh, look at that thing. I love it.
It's based off of, this is 8BitDo. 8BitDo, our favorite company. And it's based off of the NES, and it's got like really nice switches.
Mechanical.
It's a very mechanical. Well, here, I'll play some Batman on it here. Hard to pay attention while podcasting. But anyway, so I'll just like die there. So it works great. And then the other thing it has, this is kind of strange, but it came with like these two giant buttons. And I guess the idea is that you'd put a hotkey to these. Like you could put like, I don't know, Control C to this one, Control V to this one. I haven't really done that yet.
Or save, Control S. Slam that every time you want to save your project file.
Or an undo button, undo. Yeah.
There you go. I think we just figured it out. Save and undo. There it is.
So it's mostly for that. I mean, I don't think you'd want to actually play a game with these two large buttons. No. They're a little too awkward.
They are kind of cute though.
They're cute, but it's a really nice keyboard. I really recommend it. If
I always wanted to get their arcade stick.
Yeah, I'm looking at that as well.
Bluetooth one.
It's kind of silly because we have all these arcades. Why do we?
Yeah, that's why I haven't done it. But if you wanted to play an arcade game on the Switch, on TV.
Yeah. That's true. If you got like the Marvel arcade collection and you wanted to play it on the Switch, it might be a good choice.
You can kind of 8BitDo your whole life if you wanted to.
That I'm basically doing that. Yeah. And I couldn't be happier because they make great products.
I took your advice and I bought the N64 NSO controller with that Bluetooth dongle for my N64, and it all works great and it's exactly what you would want, except I don't know why it cuts out, like the signal cuts out every couple of minutes and then it comes back. I don't know why.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've had some issues with the signal cutting. Here it is. But it's not enough. It doesn't happen enough for me to be annoyed by it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird. Sometimes I think it's because it's like, especially on a hot day, it'll do that.
No friggin' way. It works. The melted N64 works.
Now they got the analog 3D coming out, the N64 FPGA thing, and they're kind of advertising it with an 8BitDo N64 controller, which looks like probably the best N64 controller money can buy, probably.
Yeah, I'll look into that when that actually releases.
Yeah,
because they have 8BitDo controllers for like NES and everything, Genesis, and N64 was sorely missing.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited for that. The other thing that because I was shopping for keyboards, mostly because my kids like stole my keyboard, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get myself one. And they advertised like a mouse that was styled with the NES. Like it kind of looks like this, but it looked very uncomfortable, so I didn't get it. It was a bridge too far.
Yeah, I use their Pro controllers for Switch mostly. My favorite controller of theirs by far, of course, is the that Sega Genesis one I always talk about.
Yeah, the M30, yeah,
M30
or whatever
yeah.
it's called now.
There's something about this D-pad that is just so good.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.